stop requested.
Look at this.
Can I ask? Sorry, are you walking to U Street?
We are. Yeah.
Cool.
That's Post Reports producer Alana Gordon. She was riding a city bus in Washington, D.C. on Friday night, and she was making her way to U Street, a popular nightlife corridor of the city.
Okay. So I'm like meeting up with...
Sitting across from her was Zaid, Khalil, and two friends. It was around midnight, but their night was just getting started.
We're young. We're all young and hot.
How old are you?
I'm 23.
24.
They were ready to dance. Zaid had on a crop top, cargo shorts, and cowboy boots.
That's just what I'm wearing, but my girls are also serving looks. My girlies back there.
Yes, we are. And that is on the record.
That is on the record. I've been living in DC for on and off for like 6 years now, and tonight I'm with my girls, and we're just gonna go out and have some good time. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like we are somewhat intimidated by like the changes that have been happening and like things that felt a little bit strange with the whole like DC National Guard.
Over the last week, Zaid and other DC residents have seen or experienced escalating tensions here in the nation's capital. Last Monday, President Donald Trump announced he'd be taking over DC's police force and sending hundreds of National Guard troops into the city. By Tuesday, at least 6 Republican-led states have pledged their units too. Officers from several other federal agencies have also fanned out across the city. This includes officers from ICE, or Immigration and Customs Enforcement, Homeland Security Investigations, and the FBI. This is playing out all over the city, including in the U Street area. It's in the heart of DC. While people there are used to seeing the city's police force, they are now seeing these federal officers.
We're just trying to have our fun, as much fun as possible, because I personally do believe that like joy is resistance. So yeah, we're just on our way to go dance. Have a good night.
Thanks. This is you, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
From the newsroom of The Washington Post, this is Post Reports. I'm Elahe Izadi. It's Tuesday, August 19th. Today, we're going to be doing something a bit different on the show. We are going out to see, what does Washington, D.C. feel like now? A team of producers and reporters spent all night out on U Street to witness these changes firsthand. We documented the neighborhood from dusk until dawn on Friday, in the first weekend since the federal takeover of DC's policing.
MPD going down U Street, just one cruiser.
Washington, D.C. is a federal city. It's home to the White House and Congress and federal agencies, but it's also a place with 700,000 residents who call the city home, including me. We're focusing on a 5-block stretch of U Street. This is one of the main places in D.C. people go out to on a Friday night. When I was in college, I'd go to a record store off U Street for shows. And as an adult, I ended up living nearby. I'd go dancing at a club known for its reggae and Jamaican beef patties. And I'd perform or watch stand-up comedy up and down the block. The U Street corridor is also among the areas in D.C. that has had the highest number of crimes reported this year. President Trump says he needs to take over policing in D.C. because crime is out of control. But city statistics show violent crime has been declining since 2023. Trump claims those statistics are fake, and the Justice Department has now launched an investigation. So in this episode, we'll be following reporter Olivia George. She covers the Trump administration's effects on the D.C. region for The Post. And throughout the night, several of our producers will also join her. We start at 7 p.m. Post Reports producer Savvy Robinson and engineer Sean Carter arrive. They already see some protesters.
I kind of want to go talk to him.
Talk to him.
Okay, sorry.
They see a guy holding a sign and a megaphone, so they ask him about it.
Can you read your sign out for us?
Oh,
Steven?
yeah. It says, if you support ICE, your mom is a and you are too.
His name is Stephen Rangel. He's an activist who recently moved from Texas to D.C. He says that with the increased ICE presence in the city, he's been trying to stop agents from detaining people. That's what the megaphone is for.
So yesterday I was protesting, came across Border Patrol agents, so I got on the megaphone, started, informing immigrants, like, hey, if your papers are questionable, go ahead and just stay where you are, don't come out in the streets.
Near Stephen, there's another protester with a sign that doesn't require a bleep. On one side, it says, America has no king.
Yeah. And no is underlined twice to make sure we know that.
The other side says, all power to the people. This is Jacqueline McGarry.
We've really, really lost the plot. We're not supposed to have kings, for sure. So I think they kind of, talk to each other, and it's also very anti-tyranny, which is, I feel like, what we're really going towards right now, so.
This area has seen a lot of protests and federal law enforcement this past week. There was even a police checkpoint.
Okay, a commotion just started happening nearby, so we're gonna walk over.
It's now 8 p.m. A large group gathers on the corner of 14th and U Streets. They had seen Stephen protesting and wanted to support him, so some people banged pots and pans. Then the group stops and goes on their way. U Street is not just a late-night hotspot. It's a storied part of DC's history. This corridor had been the epicenter of Black culture. It was called Black Broadway for decades. It was the site of civil rights activism. Then, in the 1980s, when DC was the country's murder capital, this corner was known for open-air drug markets and prostitution. In more recent years, this neighborhood has undergone gentrification. Homes nearby are pricey, and it's an area with a lot of clubs, bars, and restaurants.
It's gone dark. It's dark now. And how would you describe, the energy out here on U Street right now?
There's a bit of a split screen because on the one hand you have people, going in that have been walking their dogs or are going out for dinner or getting a drink, dressed in, dresses and kitten heels. But then at the same time, we're witnessing what appears to be a very large MPD presence. Why exactly at this moment is unclear.
Our crew meets up with our colleague, Olivia. She tells them what she's hearing from people, that it's not unusual to see some DC police officers around on a Friday night. The local police force is called MPD, the Metropolitan Police Department. But tonight, there are also federal agents, and this has put a lot of people on edge.
Sirens, I hear.
It's about 9 p.m. A block away from where they're standing, my colleagues see what appears to be about a dozen police officers arresting one man outside of a bar.
It looks like they're arresting a guy who has a mask on. He's being held. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cop cars around here.
A crowd of people gathers on the sidewalk and spills into the street. Several are filming on their phones. Eventually, we find out that this is all over a claim that a bike was stolen. But in this moment, there is a lot of confusion about what is happening. Our photographer, Craig Hudson, then shows up, and he notices that there aren't just local police here.
Well, there's also HSI with them, so.
What's HSI?
Homeland Security Investigation.
3 officers are standing further down the block, and they look different from the local police who wear dark blue uniforms. Some of these officers are wearing green shirts and vests that read HSI. That stands for Homeland Security Investigations. This is a division of ICE. Olivia and the audio producers approach the HSI officers. And the protester, Stephen, has also walked down the block and questions the officers with other bystanders. Things are getting tense.
His name is, what's your name? Just so we could talk.
You guys don't have any actual questions? I'm trying to...
Okay, I'm sorry. I'll stop.
I mean,
I'll
he's
calm down. I'm sorry.
hostile.
Stephen and others ask what the officers are doing. One of them responds, well, we're educating people on human trafficking. And we're also tonight focused on helping the DC local police.
I mean, we invest child sex crimes, we invest human trafficking, human smuggling, narcotics. You can Google it, Homeland Security, what our investigative mission is. Right now, we're supporting in DC, okay? But if you do the research, you know what we do. All the investigations we do are serious investigations against very bad people.
This answer doesn't seem to satisfy Stephen.
So do you think standing out here is actively investigating right now?
Am I hurting anything right now?
Well, yes, the community feels unsafe with your presence. The community feels unsafe with your presence. So yes, you are hurting the community. Where people don't feel safe to come outside.
So law enforcement can't be outside?
No, you are federal law enforcement. We don't care about MPD.
I work
job.
for Washington, D.C. Homeland Security, so I'm not allowed to be in Washington, D.C.?
It's nearly 10 p.m. And despite all this seriousness, there are still people trying to do what U Street does best: party.
Friday night feels like it's in full swing. Standing room only at the bar across the street. Lots of people teetering around in high heels, getting in and out of taxis and Ubers. So let's keep walking down the block.
Sabby and Sean leave, and audio producer Rena Flores takes over for them. She meets up with Olivia, and they find a group of former and current students from Howard University. The historically black university is just off of U Street. And this group is standing in line outside of El Rey, a bar serving up tacos and tequila. Here's Andrew Fraser.
We have fun, but we are black and having fun and loud and doing what we do, and there's cops every 5 steps, so it's a little disheartening. You know, it's...
Did you ever think about not coming out tonight?
We definitely did. We was like, is it worth it? But personally, it's my friend's birthday, so we come out for her birthday. But
happy birthday to her.
Indeed. We don't want our way of life to be stopped before it has to be, because like it's going that way. Like we're seeing, like it's dark, it's scary, like, it's getting real bad. But while we still can go out and be merry and have fun with our friends and just really enjoy ourselves, we want to. So we're trying our best.
They aren't alone. People are out. It seems like U Street, business as usual. But it isn't that way for everyone. That's after the break. It's still around 10 p.m. Olivia and Rena stop by Service Bar. It's known for its cocktails and fried chicken.
How would you characterize it so far?
Definitely quiet for a Friday.
Harry Wright is the general manager here. He's standing outside under the bar's rainbow awning, and he explains the changes he's felt since Trump flooded the city with officers from ICE and other federal agencies.
It's been a quiet week, I think. A lot of tension in the air, I think, for us in the service industry, where immigrants really drive... So much of the way we operate as a hospitality, food and beverage service industry, whatever you want to call it, is fueled by immigrants and people of color and queer people, and those are the people who feel the least safe in the city right now. Mm-hmm. You know, we for a living take care of people and work really hard to make others feel welcome in our space. You know, when I'm getting a call at 9 a.m. from one of my coworkers who doesn't feel safe to walk to work 7 hours before his shift, that's insane.
Homeland Security officers had stopped by some U Street businesses earlier in the week. They left flyers and tried to speak with staff.
When we're here serving food, serving drink, creating hopefully like a happy, fun, welcoming atmosphere to everybody, putting on a happy face every day, because that is what we do no matter what we're feeling or is going on in our own lives. Yeah, I mean, it's insane. It doesn't feel super real, even though, as I'm sure you've all seen walking around, it's very real. And, I've seen...
Most of the people who we talked to this Friday night, including Wright, say they do feel safe in the city. They also acknowledge D.C., like any big city, has crime problems. Earlier this summer, D.C. had implemented an 11 p.m. curfew for anyone under 18. The city said it was to combat juvenile crime.
This area in general is just unsafe. There's someone getting beat up, there's someone getting jumped, there's a fight. You stand outside, there's carjackings, or my car was broken into less than 2 months ago in the neighborhood, so.
This is Perry Singletary. She's hanging out at Nellie's Sports Bar. It's a gay bar that's been on U Street for almost 2 decades.
You're taking a risk when you're coming to U Street in general. It's a risk out here.
At the same time, she's not sure whether the federal police takeover is the answer. It's a sentiment that comes up a lot this night.
Can I ask just one quick question? Mm-hmm. When you sort of heard about Trump taking over DC police, what do you think?
I understand you wanting to make DC a better place. Anywhere can use everything to be better. Like I said earlier, U Street is just not. It's not a safe place to be. Some places in DC are not a safe place, but for you to federally take over DC, I think that is very extreme. Just a heightened police presence. I protested during Black Lives Matter, so just anything with a heightened police presence really just makes me uneasy. So, yeah.
Perry has mixed feelings about this.
I'm not going to say what he's doing is... I think what he's doing is very extreme, but it is nice to see a police presence outside, because it's been quiet out here for the last week, and it's usually not. So there's a lot of people in there.
It's now around 11 p.m. Blocks away from Nellie's, Rena and Olivia see another commotion. And this keeps happening with the heightened police presence. It causes a kind of cycle of reactions.
So we just watched what appeared to be an encounter between an MPD officer and a car that it looked like might have run a red light. So it doesn't, on its face at least, seem to be anything that is related to the increased presence of federal law enforcement in DC. And yet you immediately saw people's heads kind of on a swivel.
People have phones out, cameras are rolling, they're booing and yelling. This happens anytime federal and now local officers do police work in the neighborhood.
And so it seems that that even these more run-of-the-mill law enforcement interactions are being painted with the brush of what is happening with the federal law enforcement presence in DC right now, and people's thoughts and feelings towards that.
It's after midnight. Olivia meets up with producer Alana Gordon, who had arrived on U Street by bus. They walk around for a while. And after encountering more late-night partygoers, Olivia and Alana head further down the street for an important and necessary stop by this point in the night. It's 1 a.m.
Where are we right now?
Ben's Chili Bowl.
What are you about to do?
I'm about to order some fries.
What time is it?
1:07. Hi! I would like some cheese fries, please. I guess no, you're right. The chili cheese fries. That's it.
Ben's Chili Bowl is a D.C. institution. It opened in 1958. A sign on the wall with photos and a caption nods to this longevity and everything that this area has been through.
There's a sign here and it's got some photos on it, old photos. 68, Soul Brother, and it says, following the assassination of Martin Luther King Jr. in 1968, Riots erupted along the U Street corridor in D.C. Black activist Stokely Carmichael asked Ben to keep his restaurant open, this restaurant, during the riots. Ben's obtained permission to stay open past curfew and fed both the police officers and firemen working to impose order.
The riots happened in 1968. There were similar ones across the country. In D.C., Black residents and police clashed, including the National Guard. The chaos left 13 people dead and more than 900 businesses destroyed. A lot of places closed during those days, but not Ben's Chili Bowl.
That was delicious.
You really, you went through it.
By this point in the night, other people besides Olivia and Alana had the same idea, a late night snack. Jasmine Curtis sets up her folding table 2 blocks away from Ben's. She has tinfoil trays with food, and she is ready for the hungry late-night crowd. She goes by Chef Jazzy.
What food do you have with you?
I have fried chicken tonight, macaroni and cheese, candy yams, green beans, yellow rice, honey jerk chicken, and yeah, that's about it tonight. I usually have more, but I did a simple night tonight.
This is a simple night?
Yeah.
Jasmine loves to cook for people. She hopes to make enough money to one day have a food truck and then open a restaurant. She tells Olivia and Alana that she's been on edge all week. She's been keeping her 2 boys inside as much as she can. They're 7 and 4.
What's this week felt like? Has it been different just with
I've been staying away from it. Staying in the house, staying safe. But as far as the young people going around being crazy, it's really their fault that we going through this, because it's like, all you gotta do is learn how to act like you have some common sense, and we wouldn't be going through this. But hopefully all the younger kids will learn that, just go straight in the house, do what you're supposed to do, and we won't have to go through this having people like the police walking around watching us 24 hours a day. Because who don't want to move around freely without that? You know what I mean? You're welcome. You guys have a good night, okay?
It is 2:30. We are once again on the corner of 14th and U. People are beginning to trickle out of bars. Some people are still trickling into bars. Lots of taxis, bicycles, scooters. I think on the whole, the sense we've got from folks that we've spoken with tonight was a sense of heightened tension and uncertainty, and yet among many people that we spoke to, a conviction to still enjoy their Friday night. Whether that's getting a drink with a friend, celebrating a birthday, going to a club with people you went to college with. Despite everything that's happening in DC and in the world, people still wanted to hold on to those moments.
Still, it's hard to ignore what's missing. Just as Olivia and Alana are about to leave, someone approaches them. Levon Greer. He's been out at the clubs, but he has something to tell them. He points to the corner across the street.
They wait there, and they're like, oh, all right, I'm going up, I'm going down, up and around, but that's the spot. And then...
Usually, he says, this corner is filled with delivery drivers on mopeds. Many of them in DC are immigrants. And at this corner, drivers are usually picking up late-night food orders from McDonald's.
I messed that up. There's a lot of money on that block. People that just want to serve the community.
Levon cannot help but notice that tonight, the corner is totally empty. It's almost 3 a.m. This was an unusual Friday night for U Street. Olivia and the rest of the crew head home.
Is Olivia?
On Saturday morning, a few hours after Olivia and the rest of the crew headed home, several people saw police violently tackle a food delivery driver. The driver was leaving a nearby coffee shop with an order. He was walking towards his moped, and a witness said he started to run when he realized agents were following him. Our colleague, Dan Rosenzweig Ziff, was there too.
What agency are you guys with? Can you tell us what agency you're with? I'm press. What agency are you with?
I don't talk to the press.
This incident involved 6 federal officers wearing police vests. The vests had no clear identification of their agencies. The officers tackled the man to the ground. They appear to use a stun gun, and then they drove him away in an unmarked black vehicle. A Department of Homeland Security spokeswoman later said they detained the man, a Venezuelan national. She said he had entered the country illegally in 2023, and a judge ordered his removal later that year. DHS said he had active warrants and repeatedly failed to appear for court dates in Maryland related to traffic crimes. Since the arrest, the Post has been unable to independently verify whether the man has a Maryland traffic record or whether he had previously applied for a protection from deportation. DHS has not responded to requests for additional information, and it's not yet clear whether the detained man has a lawyer. This week, Trump has continued to defend his decision to take over D.C. police. He spoke about it from the Oval Office on Monday.
They're fighting me on the fact that I've made Washington, D.C. safe. We're not going to get mugged, beaten up, or killed like all the people you've been watching get so badly hurt.
In this show, you heard Washington Post reporter Olivia George. She covers the Trump administration's impacts on the D.C. region. This episode was produced by Alana Gordon, Rena Flores, Sabby Robinson, Thomas Liu, and Sean Carter, with help from Rennie Svirnovsky. Special thanks to photojournalist Craig Hudson and editor John Ramsey. The episode was mixed by Sean and edited by Rena and Renita Jablonski. I'm Elahe Izadi. We'll be back tomorrow with more stories from the Washington Post.